delivering my son from me, I bury a second husband.
And I, in going, madam, weep o'er my father's death anew. But I must attend his majesty's command, to whom I am now in ward, evermore in subjection.
You shall find of the king a husband, madam. You, sir, a father.
What hope is there of his majesty's amendment?
He hath abandoned his physicians, madam, under whose practices he hath persecuted time with hope, and finds no other advantage in the process but only the losing of hope by time.
This young gentlewoman had a father. Oh, that had. How sad a passage 'tis. Whose skill was almost as great as his honesty. Had it stretched so far, would have made nature immortal, and death should have play for lack of work. Would for the king's sake he were living. I think it would be the death of the king's disease.
How called you the man you speak of, madam?
Gerard de Narbonne.
Oh,
It was his great right to be famous, sir.
he was excellent indeed, madam. The king very lately spoke of him admiringly.
What is it, my good lord, the king languishes of?
A fistula, my lord.
I heard not of it before.
I would it were not notorious. Was this gentlewoman the daughter of Gerard de Narbonne?
His sole child, my lord, and bequeathed to my overlooking. I have these hopes of her good that her education promises. Her disposition she inherits, and in her they are the better for their simpleness. She derives her honesty and achieves her goodness.
Your commendations, madam, draw from her tears.
'Tis the best brine a maiden can season her praise in. The remembrance of her father never approaches her heart, but the sorrow takes all livelihood from her cheeks. No more of this, Helena. Go to, no more, lest it rather be thought you affect a sorrow than have it.
I do affect a sorrow indeed, but I have one too.
Moderate lamentation is the right of the dead. Excessive grief, the enemy to the living.
If living be enemy to the grief, the excess makes it soon mortal.
Madam, I desire your holy wishes.
Be thou blessed, Bertram, and succeed thy father in manners as in shape. Thy blood and virtue contend for empire and need, and thy goodness share with thy birthright. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Be able for thine enemy rather in power than in use. Be checked for silence, but never tax the speech. Oh, what heavenmore will that thee may furnish my prayers pluck down all on thy head. Farewell, my lord. 'Tis an unseasoned courtier. Good my lord, advise him.
He cannot want the best that shall attend his love.
Heaven bless you. Farewell, Bertram.
The best wishes that can be forged in your mind be servants to you. Be kind to my mother, your mistress, and make much of her.
Farewell, pretty lady. You must hold the credit of your father.
Oh, were that all? I think not on my father I have forgot him. My imagination carries no favour in it, but Bertram's. I am undone. There is no living, none, if Bertram be away. Oh, 'Twere all one that I should love a bright, particular star and think to wed it. He is so above me. In his bright radiance and collateral light must I be comforted, not in his sphere. The ambition in my love thus plagues itself. The hind that would be mated by the lion must die for love. 'Twas pretty, no plague, to see him every hour, to sit and draw his hawking eye, his arched brow, his curls, at our heart's table. A heart too capable of every line and trick of his sweet favour. But now he is gone, and my idolatrous fancy must sanctify his relics. Who comes here? One that goes with him. I love him for his sake, and yet I know him a notorious liar. I think him great ways a fool, solely a coward. And yet these fixed evils sit so fit in him that they take place where virtue's steely bones look bleak in the cold wind. Full oft do we see cold wisdom waiting on superfluous folly.
Save you, fair queen. Are you meditating on virginity?
Aye. You have some stain of soldier in you. Let me ask you a question. Man is enemy to virginity. How may we barricado it against him?
Keep him out.
But he assails, and our virginity, though valiant in the defence, yet is weak. Unfold to us some warlike resistance.
There is none. A man sitting down before you will undermine you and blow you up.
Bless our poor virginities from underminers and blowers up.
It is not politic in the commonwealth of nature to preserve virginity. Loss of virginity is rational increase. For there was never virgin got till virginity was first lost. Virginity, by being once lost, may be 10 times found. By being ever kept, is ever lost. 'Tis too cold a companion. Away with it.
No, I will stand for it a little, though therefore I die a virgin.
Keep it not. You cannot choose but lose by it. Out with it. Within 10 years it will make itself 10, which is a goodly increase, and the principle itself is not much the worse. Away with it.
How might one do, sir, to lose it to her own liking?
Let me see. Marry. Ill. To like.
Him.
That ne'er it likes. 'Tis a commodity, 'twill lose the gloss. The longer kept, the less worth. Off with it while 'tis vendible. And to the time of request. For virginity, like an old courtier, wears her cap, out of fashion. Richly suited, but unsuitable. Old virginity is like one of our French withered pears. It looks ill. Eats dryly. Marry! 'Tis a withered pair! 'Twas formerly better marry yet, 'tis a withered pair! Will you anything with it?
Oh, not my virginity yet.
Little Helen, farewell. If I can remember thee, I will think of thee at court.
Oh, Monsieur Parolles, you were born under a charitable star.
Under Mars, I
especially think under Mars.
Why under Mars?
The wars have so kept you under that you must needs be born under Mars.
When he was predominant.
When he was retrograde, I think, rather.
Why you think so?
You go so much backwards when you fight.
That's for advantage.
So's running away when fear proposes the safety.
I am so full of businesses, I cannot answer thee acutely. When thou hast leisure, say thy prayers. When thou hast none, think of thy friends. Get thee a good husband, and use him as he uses thee. So farewell.
Our remedies oft in ourselves do lie, which we ascribe to heaven. The fated sky gives us free scope, and only doth backward pull our slow designs when we ourselves are dull. Impossible be strange attempts to those that weigh their pains and sense, and do suppose that which has been cannot be. Whosoever strove to show her merit did miss her love. The king's disease. My project may deceive me, but my intents are fixed and will not leave me.
The Florentines and Sienese are by the ears. They have fought with equal fortune and continue a braving war.
So 'tis reported, sir.
Nay, 'tis most credible. We have it vouched here, a certainty, from our cousin Austria, with caution that the Florentines will move us for speedy aid, wherein, our dearest friend prejudicates that business which would seem to make us make denial.
His love and wisdom are proved so to your majesty. May plead for the amplest credence.
He hath armed our answer, and Florence is denied before he comes. For our gentlemen that mean to see the Tuscan service, freely now have they leave to stand on either part.
It may well serve a nursery to our gentry, who is sick for breathing and exploit.
What's he come here?
'Tis Count Rousselot, my good lord. Young Bertram.
youth. Thou bearest thy father's face. Frank nature hath well composed thee. Thy moral parts mayest you inherit too. Welcome to Paris.
My thanks and duty are your majesty's.
Would I had that corporal soundness now, that when your father and myself in friendship first tried our soldiership, it much repairs me to speak of your good father. In his youth he had the wit that I can well observe in our young lords today, but they may jest until their own scorn return them unnoted, ere they hide their levity in honour. Those who were below him he used as creatures of another place, and he bowed his eminent top to their low ranks, making them proud of his humility. Such a man would be a copy to these younger times who, followed well, would demonstrate them now, but go us backwards.
His good remembrance lies rich in your thoughts than on his tomb.
Would I were with him now. He would always say, "Let me not live, after my flame lacks oil, to be the snuff of younger spirits, whose apprehensive senses all but new things disdain, whose judgments were mere fathers of their garments, whose constancies expire before their fashions."
Your love, sir, bade at least lend it you shall lack you first.
I fill a place. I know it. How long is it, Count, since the physicians at your father's died? He was much famed.
Some 6 months since, my lord.
If he were living, I would try him yet. Lend me an arm. The rest have worn me out with several applications. Nature and sickness debated at their leisure. Welcome, Count. My son's no dearer.
Thank you, Majesty.
Very good.
Heard about you, I do not all believe. 'Tis my slowness that I do not, though lo, you lack not fully to commit them, and have ability enough to make such knaveries yours.
'Tis not unknown to you, madam. I am a poor fellow.
Well, sir.
No, madam, 'tis not so well that I am poor, though many of the rich are damned. But if I may have your ladyship's goodwill to go into the world, Isabel, the woman, and I will do as we may.
Wilt thou needs be a beggar?
I do beg your goodwill in this case, madam.
In what case?
In Isabel's case, and mine own.
service is no heritage, and I believe I shall never have the blessing of God till I have issue of my body. For they say, bands are blessings.
Tell me thy reasons why thou wilt marry.
I have been, madam, a wicked creature, as you and all flesh and blood are. And indeed, I do marry that I may repent.
Is this all your reason?
Yes, madam, I have other holy reasons, such as they are.
May the world know them?
I have been a wicked creature. I do marry that I may repent.
Thy marriage? Sooner than thy wickedness? Get you gone, Sarah. Oh, tell my gentlewoman that I would speak with her. Helena, I mean.
What is your pleasure, madam?
You know, Helena, I am a mother to you.
Mine honourable mistress.
Nay, a mother. Why not a mother? When I said a mother, methought you saw a serpent. What's in mother that makes you start? I put you in the catalogue of those who were enwombed mine. You ne'er oppressed me with a mother's groan, and yet I expressed to you a mother's care. God's mercy, maiden, does it curd thy blood to say I am thy mother? Why? That you are my daughter?
That I am not.
I say, I am your mother.
Pardon, madam. The Count Roussillon cannot be my brother. I am from humble, he from honoured name. My master, my dear lord he is, and I his servant live, and will his vassal die. He must not be my brother.
Nor I your mother.
You are my mother, madam. Would that you were. But I, your daughter, my lord, your son, must be my brother.
You might be my daughter-in-law. What, pale again? My fear hath catched your fondness. Now I find the mystery of your loneliness, and find salt tears' head. Now 'tis all sense. You love my son. Tell me then 'tis so, for look thy cheek confess it, the one to the other. Only sin and hellish obstinacy tie thy tongue. Tell me, is it so? Speak. Tell truly.
Good madam, pardon me.
Do you love my son?
Your pardon, noble mistress.
Love you, my son?
Do not you love him, madam?
Go not about. My love hath in it a bond whereof the world takes note. Come, disclose thy state of thy affection, for thy passions have to the full appeached.
Then confess before you and high heaven that before you and next onto high heaven, I love your son. My friends were poor but honest, so is my love. Be not offended, for it hurts not him that he is loved by me. I follow him not by any token of presumptuous suit, nor would I have him till I should deserve him, yet never know how that desert should be. I know I love in vain, strive against hope, and yet into this untenable sieve still do I pour in the waters of my love. Oh, good madam, dearest madam, oh, let not your hate encounter with my love for loving where you do.
Did you not lately have an intent, speak truly, to go to Paris?
Aye, madam.
Wherefore? Tell truth.
I will tell truth by grace itself, I swear. You know my father left me some prescriptions of rare and approved effects, such as his reading and manifest experience had collected for general sovereignty. Amongst the rest, there is one, approved set down to cure the desperate languishings whereof the king is rendered lost.
This was your motive for Paris? Speak.
My lord, your son made me to think of this, else the king and the remedy and Paris had, from the conversation of my thoughts, happily been absent then.
Helena, think you.
If you should tender your supposed aid to the king, he should receive it? He and his physicians are of a mind. He, that they cannot help him. They, that they cannot help. How will they credit a poor, unlearned virgin when the schools emboweled with their doctrine have left the danger off to itself?
There's something in it, more than my father's skill, which was the greatest of his profession, that his good receipt shall for my legacy be sanctified by the luckiest stars in heaven, and would you but give me leave to try success, I'd venture the well-lost life of mine on his grace's cure.
Dost thou really believe it?
Aye, madam.
Then you shall have my love and leave, means and attendance, and my loving greeting to those of mine in court. I shall stay here and pray God's blessing into thy attempt. Be gone tomorrow, and be sure of this. What I can help thee to, thou shalt not miss.
Farewell, young lords. These warlike principles do not throw from you. Share the advice betwixt you. 'Tis enough for both. My lords, farewell.
'Tis our hope, sir, that we would, when we return, as well-entered soldiers, to return and find your grace and health.
No, it cannot be. And yet my heart will not confess. Here lies that malady that doth my life besiege. Farewell, young lords. Whether I live or die, be you the sons of worthy Frenchmen.
Health at your bidding. Serve your majesty.
These girls of Italy, take heed of them. They say our French lack language to deny them if they demand. Beware of being captives.
Our hearts receive your warning. Oh, my lord, that he will stay behind us.
'Tis not his fault, the spark.
Oh, 'tis brave war.
Most admirable. I have seen those wars.
I am commanded here, and kept to coil with too young and Venexian. 'Tis too early.
Thy mind, stand to it, boy. Steal away bravely.
I shall stay here, the full horse to a smock, creaking my shoes on the plain masonry, till honour be brought up and no sword worn but one to dance with. By heaven, I'll steal away. There's honour in the theft.
Commit it, Count.
I am your accessory, and so farewell. I grow to you, and our parting is a tortured body. Farewell, Captain. Sweet Monsieur Parolles.
Noble heroes. My sword and yours are kin. Good sparks and lustrous. A word, good metals. You shall find in the regiment of the Spinii one Captain Spirio with the scar on his cheek. 'Twas this very sword that entrenched it. Say to him, I live, and observe his reports for me.
We shall, noble Captain.
Mars, dote on you for his novices. What will you do?
Stay, the king.
Will you be cured of your infirmity?
No.
I have seen a medicine that's able to breathe life into a stone, quicken a rock, and make you dance canary with sprightly fire and motion, whose simple touch is powerful to erase King Pepin, nay, to give great Charlemagne a pen in his hand and write to her a love line.
What her is this?
Why, Dr. She, my lord. There's one arrived, by my faith and honour, if seriously I may convey these my thoughts in my light deliverance, I have spoke with one, that in her sex, her years, profession, wisdom, and constancy hath amazed me. Will you see her and know her business? That done, laugh well at me.
Now, good Lafleur, bring in this admiration so that we with thee may also spend our wonder too, or take off thine by wondering how thou tookst it.
Nay, I'll fit you, and not be all day neither.
Thus he is special nothing, ever prologues.
his Majesty. Say your mind to him. A traitor you do look like, but such traitors his Majesty seldom fears. I dare leave two together. Fare you well.
Now, fair one, does your business follow us?
Aye, my good lord. Gerard Dinnerbon was my father. In what he did profess, well found.
I knew him.
The rather will I spare my praises towards him, and knowing him is enough. On his bed of death, he left me many receipts, chiefly one, which, as the dearest issue of his reading and of his old experience the only darling, he bade me store up as a triple eye, safer than mine own too, more dear. I have so. Hearing that your high majesty is touched by that malignant cause wherein my father's gift stands chief in power, I have come to tender it, and my appliance with all bound humbleness.
We thank you, kind maiden, but may not be so credulous of cure. When the most learned doctors leave us, and the congregated college have concluded that labouring art can never ransom nature on her inaidable estate.
My duty, then, shall pay me for my pains. I'll no more enforce mine office on you.
Thou thought'st to help me, and such thanks I give, as one near death as those who wish him live. But at what full well I know, thou no part. I knowing all my peril, and thou no art.
What I can do no hurt to try, since you set up your rest against remedy. He who of the greatest works is finisher oft does them by the weakest minister. Oft expectation fails, and most oft where most it promises, and oft it hits where hope is coldest and despair most fits.
I must not hear thee, kind maid, fare thee well. Your pains not used must be by thyself be paid.
Dear sir, to my endeavours give consent of heaven, not me make an experiment. I am not an impostor that proclaim myself against the level of mine aim, but no, I think I know most sure, my art is not past power, nor you past cure.
Art thou so confident? Within what space hopest thou my cure?
The greatest grace, lending grace, ere twice the horses of the sun shall bring their fiery torture his diurnal ring, ere twice in murk and occidental damp moist Hesperus hath quenched his sleepy lamp, or 24 times the pilot's glass have told the thievish minutes how they pass. What is infirm from your sound parts shall fly. Health shall live free, and sickness freely die.
Upon thy certainty and confidence, what darest thou venture?
My maiden's name's Seared. Nay, worse, if worse, extended with vilest torture, let my life be ended.
Methinks in thee some blessed spirit does speak. His powerful sound within an organ weak. Thy life is dear, that life in thee hath estimate. Youth, beauty, wisdom, courage, all that happiness and prime can happy call. Thou this to hazard needs, most intimate skill, infinite or monstrous desperate. Sweet practitioner, thy physic I will try, which ministers thine own death if I die.
If I break time or flinch in property of what I have spoke unpitied, let me die, and well deserved. Not helping, death is my fee. But if I help, what do you promise me?
Make thy demand.
But will you make it even?
Aye, by my sceptre and my hopes of heaven.
Then thou shalt grant me with thy kingly hand what husband in thy power I will command.
Here is my hand. The premise is observed. Thy will be by thy performance shall be served.
I shall now put you to the height of your breeding.
I will show myself highly fed, lowly taught. I know my business is but to the court.
To the court? Why, what place makes you special when you put up that with such contempt? But to the court.
Truly, madam, if God hath lent a man any manners, he may easily put it off at court. He that cannot make a leg, put off his cap, kiss his hand and say nothing, has neither legs, hands, lip, nor cap. And indeed, such a fellow, to say precisely, were not for the court. But for me, I have an answer will serve all men.
Mary. That's a bountiful answer that fits all questions.
Ask me if I'm a courtier. It shall do you no harm to learn.
Ah, to be young again if we could. I will play the fool in question, hoping to be the wiser by your answer. I pray you, sir, are you a courtier?
Oh, Lord, sir! There's a simple putting up. More, 100 of them.
You would answer well to a whipping if you were but bound to it.
I ne'er had worse luck in my life with my, oh Lord, sir.
I see some things may serve long, but not serve ever.
I play the noble housewife, with the time to entertain it so merrily, with a fool.
Oh, Lord, sir! There it serves well again.
An answer to your business. I pray you, give this to my gentlewoman, and urge her to a present answer back. Commend me to my son and my kinsmen. This is not much.
Not much commendation to them.
Not much employment for you. Do you hear me?
Most fruitfully, madam. I am there before my legs.
They say miracles are past, and we have our philosophical persons to make modern and familiar things supernatural and causeless.
Why, 'tis the rarest argument of wonder that hath shot out in our latter time.
And so 'tis.
To be relinquished to the artist
So
of
I
all the
say.
learned and authentic fellows.
Right,
that
so I
gave
say.
him out incurable.
Why, that is, so
Not
I say
to be
too.
helped, uncertain life and sure death.
If you will have it in showing, you shall read it in, well, what do you call there?
A showing of a heavenly effect in an earthly actor.
That's it. I would have said the very same.
In a most weak.
And debile minister. Great power, great transcendence, which should indeed give us further use to be made than alone the recovery of the king, as to be,
Generally thankful.
I would have said it, you say well.
Here comes the king.
Is not this Helen?
For God, I think so.
Go. Call before me all the lords in court. Sit, my preserver, by thy patient side, and with this healthful hand, whose banished sense thou hath repealed, a second time receive confirmation of my promised gift. Fair maid, cast forth thine eye over this parcel of noble bachelors, over whose sovereign voice and father's power I have to use. Thy frank election make, thou hast power to choose, and they none to forsake.
Gentlemen, heaven has through me restored the king to health.
Long live the king!
Well done, splendid.
I am a simple maid, and therein wealthiest that I protest I simply am a maid. Please it, your majesty, I have done already. And the blushes in my cheeks thus whisper me, we blush that thou shouldst choose, but be refused. Let the white death sit upon thy cheek, we'll never come there again.
Make choice and see, who shuns thy love shuns his love in me.
Now, Diane, from thy altar do I fly, and to imperial love that God most high do my sighs stream. Sir, will you hear my suit?
And grant it.
Oh, honour, sir, flames in your eyes before I speak. Love make your fortunes 20 times above her that so wishes, and her humble love.
No better if you please.
I dare not say I take you, but I give me and my service ever whilst I live into your guiding power. This is the man.
Why, young Bertram, take her. She is thy wife.
My wife? My liege. I shall beseech your highness, in such a business, to give me leave to use the help of mine own eyes.
Knowest thou not, Bertram, what she has done for me?
Yes, my good lord, but never hoped to know why I should marry her. I know her well. She had her breathing at my father's charge. A poor physician's daughter, my wife, disdain rather corrupt me ever.
'Tis only title thou disdainst in her, the which I can build up. A poor physician's daughter thou dislikest in virtue for the name. But do not so. From lowest place dignified things proceed, and that place becomes dignified by the doer's deed. Good alone is good without the name. Vileness is so. The property by which it is should go, not by the title. She is young, fair, wise. In these to nature she is immediate heir, and these breed honour, which is honour's scorn. The challenge is itself, which is honour's born. What can be said? If thou canst like this maid as a creature, the rest I can build up. Virtue, and she has her own dower, honour and wealth from me.
I cannot love her, nor will strive to do it.
Thou wrong'st thyself if thou shouldst strive to choose.
That you are well restored, my lord. I am glad. Let the rest go.
My honour is at stake, and to defeat I must produce my power. Take her hand, proud, scornful boy, unworthy this good gift, which in vile misshackle at prison my love and her desert. Check thy contempt, obey our will, which travails in thy good, or I will throw thee from my care forever. In the name of justice, without all terms of pity. Speak! Thine answer!
Pardon, gracious lord, for I submit my fancy to your eyes. When I consider what great creation and what dole of honour flies where you bid it, I find that she, which was in my thoughts most base, is now the praise of the king, who so ennobled is as 'twere born so.
Take her hand. Tell her she is thine. To which I promise a counterpoise, if not to thy estate, a balance more replete.
I take her hand.
Good favour and the favour of the king smile upon this contract, whose ceremony shall seem expedient upon the now-born brief, and be performed tonight. The solemn feast shall more attend upon the coming space, expectant of absent friends. As thou lovest her, thy love to me religious, else does err.
Your lord and master did well to make his recantation.
Recantation? My lord? My master?
Aye, it's not a language I speak.
A most harsh one, and not to be understood without bloody succeeding, my master.
Are you companion to the Count Roussillon?
To any count? To all counts? To what is man? You are too old, sir. Let it satisfy you. You are too old.
I must tell thee, sirrah, I write man, to which title age cannot bring thee. I did think thee to be a pretty wise fellow, thou hadst made tolerable vent of thy travels, yet the scarves and bannerets about thee did manifoldly dissuade me from believing thee a vessel of too great a burden. I have now found thee. When I lose thee again, I care not.
Hadst thou not the privilege of antiquity upon thee?
Do not lose thyself too far in anger, lest thou hasten thy trial. So, my window of lattice, farewell. Thy casement I need not open, for I look through thee.
My lord, you give me most egregious indignity.
Aye, with all my heart, and thou art worthy of it.
I have not, my lord, deserved it.
Every dram of it.
My lord, you do me most insupportable vexation.
I wish it were hell pains for thy sake, and my poor doing eternal. For doing, I am past, as I will by thee, in what motion age will give me leave.
Well, thou hast a son shall take this disgrace off me. Scurvy old, filthy, scurvy lord. I'll beat him. I must be patient. There is no fettering of authority. I'll beat him by my life. If I could meet him with any convenience, and he were double and double a lord, I'd have no more pity of his age than I would have. I'll beat him, and if I could but meet him again.
Sarah, thy lord and master's married. There's news for you. You have a new mistress.
I do beseech your lordship to make some reservation of your wrongs. He is my good lord, whom I serve above is my master.
Who? God?
Aye, sir.
The devil of it is that's thy master. Why dost thou garter up thy arms of this fashion? Dost make hose of sleeves? Do other servants so? Go to, sir. You are a vagabond, and are more saucy with honourable personages than the commission of your birth and virtue gives you heraldry. You are not worth another word.
What's the matter?
Although before the solemn priest I have sworn, I will not bed her.
What? What?
Oh, my Parolles! They have married me! Oh, to the Tuscan wars, and never bed her.
France is a dog-hole, and no more merits the tread of a man's foot. But to the wars. He hides his honour in a box unseen, who hugs his kicky-wicky here at home, and spends his manly marrow in her arms, which should sustain the bound and high curvet of Mars's fiery steed. To other regions, France is a stable, we that dwell in jades. Therefore to the war.
It shall be so. I'll send her to my house, acquaint my mother with my hate to her, and wherefore I am fled, I'll write to the king that which I durst not speak. His present gift shall furnish me to those Italian fields where noble fellows strike. War is no strife to the dark house and the detested wife.
Will this capriccio hold in thee, art sure?
Go with me to my chamber and advise me. I'll send her straight away. Tomorrow, I'll to the wars. She to her single sorrow.
Why, these balls bound, there's noise in it. 'Tis hard. A young man that's married is a man that's marred. Well, therefore away, and leave her bravely. Go. The king has done you wrong, but hush. 'Tis so.
Wonderful. Well done. My word.
My mother greets me kindly. Is she well?
She is not well, but yet she has her health. She's very merry, but yet she is not well. But thanks be given, she's very well and wants nothing in the world, but yet she is not well.
What does she ail, that she is not well, if she be very well?
Truly, she's very well indeed, but for two things.
What two things?
One, that she's not in heaven, whither God send her quickly. Two, that she's in earth, from whence God send her quickly.
Bless you, my fortunate lady.
I hope, sir, I have your goodwill to have mine own good fortunes.
You have my prayers to lead them on, and to keep them on, have them still. Oh, my knave! How goes my old lady?
So that you had her wrinkles and I her money, I would she did as you say.
Oh, why, I say nothing.
Marry, sir, you are the wiser man. Many a man's tongue shakes out his master's undoing. To say nothing, to know nothing, to have nothing, and to do nothing is to be a very great part of your title, which is within a very little of nothing.
Away, thou art a knave!
You should have said before a knave, thou art a knave. That is, before me, thou art a knave. This had been truth, sir.
Go to! Thou art a witty fool, I have found thee.
Did you find me in yourself, sir?
Madame, my lord will go away tonight. A very serious business calls on him. The great prerogative and right of love, which, as your due time claims, he does acknowledge, but puts it off to a compelled restraint.
Well, what's his will else?
That you will take your instant leave of the king and make this haste as your own good proceeding, strengthened with what apology you think may make it probable need.
What more commands he?
Well, that having this obtained, you presently attend his further pleasure.
In everything, I wait upon his will.
I shall report it so.
But I hope your lordship thinks not him a soldier.
Yes, my good lord, and a very valiant a proof.
You have it from his own deliverance.
And by other warranted testimony.
Oh, then my dial goes not true. I took this lark for a bunting.
I do assure you, my good lord, he's very great in knowledge and accordingly valiant.
I have then sinned against his experience and transgressed against his valour. Here he comes.
These things shall be done, sir.
Is she gone to the king?
She is,
Will she wait tonight?
as you'll have her.
I've writ my letters, casketed my treasure, given order for our horses, and tonight, when I should take possession of the bride, and ere I do begin.
A good traveller is something at the latter end of a dinner, but one that lies 3/3 and uses a known truth to pass 1,000 nothings with should be once heard and thrice beaten. Oh, God save you, Captain.
I know not how I have deserved to run into my lord's displeasure.
You have run into it, boots and spurs and all, like him that leapt into the custard, and out of it you'll run again, rather than suffer question for your residence.
It may be you have mistaken him, my lord.
Fare you well, my lord, and believe this of me. There can be no kernel in this light nut. The soul of this man is his clothes. Trust him not in matter of heavy consequence. Farewell, monsieur. I have spoken better of you than you have or will to deserve at my hand.
Idle lord, I swear.
Here comes my clog.
I have, sir, as was commanded from you, spoke with the king and procured his leave for present parting. Only he desires some private speech with you.
I shall obey his will. You must not marvel, Helen, at my course. Prepared I was not for such a business. Therefore am I found so much unsettled. This drives me to entreat you to take your way home, and rather muse than ask why I entreat you. For my respects are better than they seem, and having them a need greater than shows itself at first view to you that know them not. This to my mother. 'Twill be 2 days ere I shall see you, so I leave you to your wisdom.
Sir, I can nothing say but that I am your most obedient servant,
Come, no more of that.
and ever shall seek to eke out that wherein toward me my homely stars have failed to equal my great fortune.
My haste is very great. Farewell.
Pray, sir, your pardon.
Well, what would you say?
I am not worthy of the wealth that I own, nor dare I say it is mine, and yet it is. But, like a timorous thief, most fain would steal that what law does vouch mine own.
What would you have?
Something, and scarce so much. Nothing, indeed. Oh, I would not tell you what I would, my good lord. Strangers and foes do sunder and not kiss.
I pray you, stay not but in haste to horse.
I shall not break your bidding, good my lord.
Go thou toward home, where I will never come, whilst I can shake my sword or hear the drum. Away, and for our flight.
Bravely? Coraggio!
It hath happened, all as I would have it, save that he comes not along with us. My beloved mother, I have sent you a daughter-in-law. She hath recovered the king, and undone me. I have wedded her, not bedded her, and sworn to make the knot eternal. You shall hear I am run away. Know it before the report come. If there be breadth enough in the world, I will hold a long distance. My duty to you, your unfortunate son, Bertram. This is not well. Rash and unbridled boy, to fly the favours of so good a king, to pluck his indignation on thy head, for the misprizing of a maid too virtuous, for the contempt of the empire.
Well, madam, yonder is heavy news between two soldiers and my young lady.
What is the matter?
Nay, there is some comfort in the news, some comfort. Your son will not be killed so soon as I thought.
Why should he be killed?
So say I, madam. If he run away, and I hear he does, the danger is in standing to it. That's the loss of men, though it be the getting of children. Here they come, we'll tell you more.
Save you, good madam.
Madam, my lord is gone. Forever gone.
Do not say so.
Think upon patience. I pray you, gentlemen, I have felt so many quirks of joy and grief that the first face of neither can woman me unto it. Where is my son, I pray you?
Madame, he has gone to serve the Duke of Florence.
Look upon his letter, madam. There's my passport.
When thou canst get the ring upon my finger, which never shall come off, and show me a child begotten of thy body, that I am father to, then call me husband. But in such a then, I write a never. That is a dreadful sentence. I prithee, my lady, have a better cheer. If thou engrossest all the griefs of thine, thou robb'st me of a moiety. He was my son, but I do wash his name out of my blood, and thou art all my child. Towards Florence, was he?
Aye, madame.
and to be a soldier.
Such is his noble purpose.
Till I have no wife, I have nothing in France. Oh, 'tis bitter.
Find you that there?
Ay, madam.
'Tis but the boldness of his hand, haply, which his heart was not consenting to.
Nothing in France, until he have no wife. There is nothing here that is too good for him but only her. And she deserves a lord that 20 such rude boys might tend upon and call her hourly mistress. Who was with him?
A servant only, and a gentleman which I have sometime known.
Parolles, was it not?
Ay, my good lady, he.
A tainted fellow, and very full of wickedness. My son corrupts a well-derived nature with his inducement.
Indeed, good lady.
You're welcome, gentlemen. I shall entreat you, when you see my son, tell him his sword can never win the honour that he loses.
Till I have no wife, I have nothing in France. Nothing in France until he has no wife. Then thou shalt have none, Brucion, none in France. Then hast thou all again. Oh. Poor Lord, is it I that chase thee from thy country and expose thine tender limbs to the unsparing war? Is it I that drives thee from the sportive court where thou wast shot at with fair eyes to be the mark of smoky muskets? Come thou home, Roussillon. I will be gone. My being here it is that holds thee hence. Shall I stay here to do it? No, although the air of paradise did fan the house and angels officed all, I will be gone, that pitiful rumour may report my flight to consolate thine ear. Come night, end day, for with the dark, poor thief, I'll steal away.
My dearest Countess Mother, I am St. Jacques Pilgrim, thither gone. Ambitious love hath so in me offended, that barefoot plod I the cold ground upon, with sainted vow my faults to have amended. Right, that from the bloody course of war, my dearest master, your dear son, may hie. Bless him at home in peace. He is too good and fair for death and me, whom I myself embrace, to set him free. such sharp stings are in her mildest words. What angel shall bless this unworthy husband? He cannot thrive unless her prayers, whom heaven delights to hear and loves to grant, reprieve him from the greatest wrath of natural justice. My heart is heavy, mine age is weak. Grief would have sorrow, and tears bid me speak.
Nay, come! For if they do approach the city, we shall lose all the sight.
They say the French Count has done most honourable service.
It is reported that he has taken their greatest commander.
Now, Diana, take heed of this French Earl. The honour of a maid is in her name, and no legacy is as rich as honesty.
I have told my neighbour that you have been solicited by a gentleman, his companion.
I know that knave.
Oh.
Hang him. One Parolles. A filthy officer he is, in those suggestions for the young Earl. Beware of them, Diana. Their promises, enticements, oaths, tokens, and all these engines of lust. They know not what they go under. Many a maid hath been seduced by them, and misery shows terrible in the wreck of maidenhood.
You shall not need to fear me.
I hope so. God save you, pilgrim. Whither are you bound?
To Saint Jacques le Grand. Where do the Palmers lunch? I do beseech you.
Here, at the St. Francis, beside the port. Hark you! The troops come. Now, if you will tarry, holy pilgrim, back till the troops are past, I will conduct you myself to where you shall be lodged. The rather, for I think I know your hostess to be as ample as myself.
Is it yourself?
If it shall please so, pilgrim.
I thank you, mistress, and shall stay upon your leisure.
You came, I think, from France.
I did so.
Here you shall see a gentleman, a countryman of yours, who has done most worthy service.
His name, I pray you.
Oh,
The Count Ruse. Know you such a one?
But by the ear, which is most nobly of him, his face I know not.
Oh, whatsoever he is, he's bravely taken here. He stole from France, as 'tis reported, as the king had married him against his liking. Think you it is so?
Aye, surely 'tis mere the truth. I know his lady.
There is a gentleman that serves the court that reports but coarsely of her.
What's his name?
Monsieur Parolles.
Oh, I believe with him. In argument of praise or to the worth of the great Count himself, she is too mean to have her name repeated.
Alas, poor lady, 'tis a hard bondage to become the wife of a detesting lord.
I warrant, good creature, wheresoever she is, her heart weighs sadly.
solicits her in the unlawful purpose?
He does indeed, and brokes with all that can in such a suit corrupt the tender honour of a maid. But she is armed for him, and keeps her guard in honestest defence.
The gods forbid else.
So now they've come. It's all right.
The troop is past. Come, Holy Pilgrim.
No, so now they come.
Yeah.
So now they come.
Oh, so now they come.
They gotta keep coming.
Sorry.
I'll extend that. Well,
Yeah, sorry, that's...
Which is the Frenchman? He with the flute.
He's a most gallant fellow. I would he loved his wife. If he were honester, he were much goodlier. Is not a handsome gentleman?
I like him well.
'Tis pity he is not honest. Yon's that same knave that leads him to these places. Were I his lady, I would poison that vile rascal.
Which is he?
That jackanapes with the scar. Why is he melancholy?
Perchance he's hurt in the battle.
Lose our drum? Well!
The troop is past.
Come, Holy Pilgrim. I shall conduct you to where you shall hope.
a little bit more volume in some of those, please.
My good lord, put him to it.
Do you think I'm so far deceived in him?
Believe it, my lord. In mine own direct knowledge, he is a notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of no one good quality worthy of your lordship's entertainment.
It were fit you knew him, lest reposing too far in his virtue, which he hath not, might some great and trusty business in a main danger fail you.
I would. I knew what particular action to try him in.
None better than to let him fetch off his drum, which you hear him so confidently undertake to do.
I, with a troop of Florentines, will suddenly surprise him. Such I will have, whom I'm sure he knows not from the enemy. We will bind and hoodwink him, so he shall suppose we bring him to the leaguer of the adversaries, when we bring him to our own tents. Be but your lordship present at his examination. For if he do not, in the promise of his life, and in the highest compulsion of base fear, offer to betray you, and reveal all intelligence in his power against you, and in the divine forfeit of his soul upon oath, never trust my judgment in anything.
Oh, for the love of laughter, let him fetch off his drum. He says he has a stratagem for it. Here he come.
How now, monsieur? This drumstick's sorely in your disposition.
Pox on it, let it go, 'tis but a drum.
But a drum? Is but a drum so lost?
Some dishonour we had in the loss of that drum. But it is not to be recovered.
It might have been recovered.
It might, but it is not now.
It is to be recovered. But that the merit of service is seldom attributed to the true and exact performer, I would have that drum.
Why? If you think your mystery and stratagem can bring this instrument of honour again into his native quarter, go on. The Duke shall both speak of it and extend to you what further becomes his greatness.
By the hand of the soldier, I'll undertake it.
But you must not now slumber in it.
I'll about it this evening. By midnight, look to hear further from me. Farewell. I love not many words.
No more than a fish loves water.
Lovely, lovely.
You do not know him, my lord, as we do. But when you find him out, you have him ever after.
Do you think he will make no deed at all of this?
None in the world. He'll return with an invention and clap upon you 2 or 3 probable lies. He is not for your lordship's respect.
We'll make you some sport with the foxy we case him. He was first smoked by the old Lord Leafu. When his disguise and he is parted, tell me what a sprat you shall find him.
Believe me that I am not she, I know not how I can assure you further. The Count Roussillon is my husband, and what to your sworn counsel I have spoke is so, from word to word.
I believe you, for you have showed me that, which assures me that you are great in fortune.
Take this purse of gold and let me buy your friendly help thus far, which I will overpay and pay again. The Count, he woos your daughter, lays down his siege before her beauty, is resolved to carry her. Let her consent, as will direct her how 'tis best to bear it. Now, his blood will not deny that she'll demand a ring he wears, that he holds in most rich choice in his fire, to buy his will, it would not seem too dear, however repented after.
Now I see the bottom of your purpose.
You see, it is no more but that your daughter, ere she seems as one, desires this ring, appoints him an encounter, and delivers me to fill the time, herself most chastely absent. After this, to marry her, I'll add 3,000 crowns to what is past already.
Oh, instruct my daughter how she shall persevere. That time and place, with this deceit so lawful, may prove coherent. Every night he comes, with music of all sorts and songs composed to her unworthiness. Oh, it's as if his life lay on it.
Why then tonight, let us say our plot, which is wicked meaning in a lawful deed. and lawful meaning in a lawful act.
He can come no other way than by this hedge corner. When he sally upon him, speak what terrible language you will. Though you not know it yourself, no matter, for we must not seem to understand him, unless someone among us we can produce for an interpreter.
Good captain, let me be the interpreter.
Knows he not thy voice?
No, sir, I warrant you.
But what Lindsay Wolsey has thou to speak to us again?
Even such as you speak to me.
Now, he hath a smack of all neighbouring languages. Therefore he must think us some band of strangers of the adversary's employ. Everyone be a man of his own fancy, not to know what we speak one to another. As for you, interpreter, you must seem very politic. But couch ho, here he comes, to beguile a 2 hours sleep and swear the lies that he forges.
They begin to smoke me. I find my tongue is too foolhardy, and yet my heart hath the fear of Mars before it, not daring the reports of my tongue.
This is the first truth thine own tongue was guilty of.
What the devil should move me to undertake the recovery of this drum? Being not ignorant of the impossibility, and knowing I had no such purpose.
Possible that he should know what he is and be that he is?
I would. I had any drum of the enemy's. I would swear I recovered it.
You shall hear one anon.
A drum now of the enemy's.
Rockavum of Oscars!
Cargo! Ransom! Ransom! Do not hide mine eyes!
Boscos, Romaldo, Boscos!
I know you are the Musculus regiment, and I shall lose my life for want of language. If there be here a German, a Dane, Low Dutch, Italian, or French, let him speak to me.
Boscos Bavardo, I understand thee and can speak thy tongue. Purely bonto, sir, betake thee to thy faith for 17 poniards at thy bosom.
Oh.
Miska Romialdo Duc. Osio no victor, Vivercio.
The general is content to spare thee yet, and will lead thee on together from thee. Haply thou mayest inform something to save thy life.
Oh, let me live! And all the secrets of our camp I'll show. Their force, their purposes. Oh, nay, I will speak that which she will wonder at.
But wilt thou faithfully?
Oh, if I do not, damn me.
Accordolinta, come on, thou art granted space.
Tell the general we have caught the woodcock.
and will keep him muffled till we do hear from him.
My lord, I will.
Williams!
They told me your name was Fontybell.
No, my good lord. Diana.
Title goddess, and worth it, with addition. But, fair soul, in your fine frame hath love no quality? If quick fire of youth light not your mind, you are no maiden, but a monument. Only when you are dead should you be such one as you are now, for you are cold and stern. And now you should be as your mother was, when your sweet self was got.
She then was honest?
So should you be.
No, my mother did but duty. Such, my lord, as you owe to your wife?
No more of that, I prithee. Do not strive against my vows. I was compelled to her. But I love thee, by love's own sweet constraint, and will forever do thee all rights of service.
Aye, so you serve us till we serve you. Then when you have our roses, you barely leave our thorns to prick ourselves, and mock us with our bareness. At least in my opinion.
Oh, change it. Be not so wholly cruel. Love is holy. In my integrity, man you the crafts you do charge men with. Stand no more off, but give thyself.
I see that men make ropes in such a scar that we'll forsake ourselves. Give me that ring.
I'll lend it thee, my dear, but have no power to give it from me. Will you not, my lord? It is an honour longing to our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, and would be the greatest obloquy in the world of me to lose.
Mine honest such a ring. My chastity is the jewel of our house, bequeathed down from many ancestors, to be the greatest obloquy in the world in me to lose.
Here, take my ring, my house, mine honour, yea, my life. Be thine, and I'll be bid by thee.
When midnight comes, knock at my tamer's window. I'll order take, my mother shall not hear. Now charge you, when you have conquered my yet maiden babe, remain there but an hour, nor speak to me. My reasons are most strong, and you shall know them when back again this ring shall be delivered. On your finger in the night I shall put another ring, that what in time may proceed to token to the future our past deeds. Adieu, till then fail not, you have won a wife of me, though there my hopes be done.
A heaven on earth I've won by wooing thee.
To live long to thank both heaven and me. You may so in the end. My mother told me just how he would woo, as if she sat in his heart. She said, all men have the like oaths.
You have not given him his mother's letter.
I have delivered it an hour since, but there's something that stings for his nature. In reading it, he changed almost into another man.
He has much worthy blame laid upon him for shaking off so good a wife and so sweet a lady.
Especially since he hath incurred the everlasting displeasure of the king. I will tell you a thing, but you will let it dwell darkly with you.
When it is spoken, 'tis dead, and I am the grave of it.
He hath perverted a young gentlewoman. here in Florence, of a most chaste renown, and this night he fleshes his will in the spoil of her honour.
We shall not then have his company tonight?
Not till midnight.
That approaches apace. I'd gladly have his company that he might take measure of his own judgment, wherein so curiously he set this counterfeit.
We will not meddle with him till he come, for his presence must be the whip of the other.
In the meantime, what hear you of these wars? I hear there's an overture of peace.
Aye, peace concluded, but what will Count Roussillon do then? Will he return to France?
His wife some 2 months since fled from his house. Her pilgrimage was a pretense to Saint-Jacques-le-Grand. And there, residing the tenderness of her nature, she became as prey to her grief. In fine, made a groan of her last breath, and now she sings in heaven.
How is this justified?
The stronger part by her own letters. The death itself was confirmed by the rector of the place.
Hath the Count all this knowledge?
Aye.
I am heartily sorry that he'll be glad of this.
The great dignity that his valour hath here acquired for him shall at home be encountered with the shame as ample. How now, my lord? 'Tis it not after midnight?
I have tonight dispatched many businesses. I have spoke with the Duke, done my adieu with his nearest, mourned a wife, writ to my lady mother that I am returning, entertained my convoy, and among these many deeds, the last was the greatest, but that I have not ended yet.
If this business be of any difficulty, and this morning your departure hence, it requires haste of your lordship.
I mean, the business has not ended yet, as fearing to hear of it hereafter. But shall we have this dialogue between the fool and the soldier?
Oh, of course. Bring him forth!
Porta Torossa!
He calls for the torches. What say you without him?
I will confess what I know without constraint. If you pinch me like a pasty, I can say no more.
Boscoci macho?
Bobby bindo tomarcho.
The general bids you shall answer to what I shall ask of you out of a note.
And truly, as I hope to live.
First demand of him how many horse the Duke is strong. What say you to that?
5,000 or 6,000, but very weak and unserviceable. The troops are all scattered, and the commanders are very poor rogues.
Shall I set down your answer so?
Do! I'll take sacrament on how and which way you will.
Oh, all's one to him. What a past-saving slave is this?
I will never trust a man for keeping his sword clean, or believe that he can have everything in him by wearing his apparel neatly.
Well, that's a sit down.
5,000 or 6,000 horse, I said.
He's very near the truth in this.
You shall demand of him how many horse the Duke is strong. Wait, sorry. You shall demand of him whether one Captain Dumaine be in the camp. What say you to this?
Upon my knowledge, he is, and lousy.
Do you know this Captain Dumaine?
I know him. He was a butcher's apprentice in Paris, from whence he was whipped for getting a sheriff's fool with child. A dumb innocent who could not say him nay.
Nay, by your leave, hold your hands. God knows brains are forfeit to the next tile that falls.
Nay, look not so upon me. Shall hear of your lordship anon.
What is his reputation with the Duke?
Oh, the Duke wrote to me this other day to turn him out of the band. I think I have his letter in my pocket.
Here it is. Here's a paper. Shall I read it to you?
I do not know if it be or no.
Our interpreter does it well. Excellently.
Diane, the accounts are full, and full of gold.
Oh, that is not the Duke's letter, sir. That is to a maid in Florence. One Diana, to take heed of the allurement of one Count Roussillon, a very ruttish boy. I pray you, sir, put it up again.
Nay, I'll read it first, by your favour.
My meaning was very honest in the behalf of the maid, for I knew the young count to be a dangerous and lascivious boy who is a whale to virginity and devours up all the fry it finds.
Oh, damnable both sides rogue!
When he swears oath, bid him drop gold and take it. After he scores, he never pays the score. He never pays after debt. Take it before, and say a soldier, Diana, told me this. The Count's a fool, I know it, who pays before, but not when he does owe it. Thine, as thou to thee and thine ear.
Parolles. Oh, you shall be whipped through the army with this round its forehead!
I perceive, sir, by the general's looks we shall be fain to hang you.
Oh. Not that I am afraid to die, sir, but let me live in the dungeon, or the stocks, or anywhere so I may live.
We'll see what may be done, so you confess freely. Once more to this Captain Dumaine. What's his brother, the other Captain Dumaine?
Why does he ask him of me?
What's he?
In a crow the same nest. He excels his brother for a coward, yet his brother is reputed one of the best that is.
If your life be saved, will you undertake to betray the Florentine?
I, and the captain of his horse, Count Roussillon.
I'll whisper with the general and know his pleasure.
Oh, no more drumming! A plague on all drums! Who would have suspected an ambush where I was taken?
There is no remedy, sir, but you must die. The general says you are so traitorous you can serve the world no honest use. Come, headsman, off with his head!
That shall
let me see my death.
And take heed of all your friends. So, look about you. Know you any here?
Good morrow, noble captain.
God bless you, Captain Parolles.
God save you, noble captain.
Captain, what a greeting to my Lord Lefou. I am for France.
You are undone, Captain.
Who cannot be crushed with a plot?
If you were to find a land where were but women who had received so much shame, you may begin an impudent nation. I too am for France, and we will speak of you there.
I am thankful. If my heart were great, it would burst at this. Captain, I'll be no more. But I shall eat, and drink, and sleep as soft as captain shall. Simply the thing I am shall make me live. He who knows himself a braggart, let him fear this, for it shall come to pass that every braggart shall be found an arse. Rust, sword, cool blushes, and Parolles live safest in shame. Being fooled, by foolery thrive. There's place and means for every man alive. I'm after them.
I duly am informed his grace is at Marseille, to which place we have convenient convoy. You must know, I am supposed dead. The army breaking, my husband hies him home, where, heaven aiding, and by the leave of my good lord the king, will be before our welcome.
Gentle madam, you never had a servant to whose trust your business was more welcome.
Nor you, mistress. Doubt not but that heaven hath raised me up to be your daughter's dower and help her to a husband. But more of this hereafter. You, Diana, must yet suffer something in my behalf.
Let death and honesty go with your impositions, and yours upon your will to suffer.
The time will bring on summer when briars shall have leaves as well as thorns, and be as sweet as sharp. We must away.
Yes.
Our wagon is prepared, and time revives us. All's well that ends well. Still, defines the crown. Whatever the course, the end is the renown.
No, no, no. Your son was misled by a stiff taffeta fellow there, whose villainous saffron would have made all the unbaked and doughy youths of a nation in his colour.
I wish I had not known him. It was the death of the most virtuous gentlewoman that ever nature had praise for creating. If she had partaken of my flesh, and cost me the dearest groans of a mother, I could not owe her a more rooted love.
'Twas a good lady, 'twas a good lady. We may pick 1,000 salads ere we light on such another herb.
Indeed, sir. She was the sweet marjoram of the salad, or rather, the herb of grace.
They are not salad herbs, you knave. They are nose herbs.
Well, I am no great Nebuchadnezzar, so I have not much skill in grass.
Whether dost thou profess thyself a knave or a fool?
Fool, sir, at a woman's service, and a knave at a man's.
Your distinction?
I would cozen the man of his wife, or do his service.
So you were a knave at his service indeed.
And I would give his wife my baubles, sir,
Thou art
to do her service.
Oh, thou art both knave and fool.
At your service.
Oh, no. A shrewd knave and an unhappy one.
Oh. My lord that's gone made himself much sport out of him, and by his authority he remains here, which he thinks is a patent for his sauciness.
I like him well. I was about to tell you, since I heard of the good lady's death, and that your son was upon his return home, I moved the king, my master, to stop up the displeasure he hath conceived against your son. How does your ladyship like it?
With very much content, and I wish it happily effected.
His Highness comes post from Marseille tomorrow. Of as able body as when he numbered 30. He will be here tomorrow.
Oh, it rejoices me that I shall see him ere I die. I have letters from my son that he will be here tonight. I shall beseech your lordship to remain with me until they meet together.
Good Monsieur Lavache, deliver Lord Lefou this letter. I have here now, sir, been better known to you when I have held familiarity with fresher clothes. But I am now, sir, muddied in Fortune's mood, and smell somewhat strong of her strong displeasure.
Truly, Fortune's displeasure is but sluttish if it smells so strongly as thou speakest of. I will henceforth eat no fish of Fortune's buttering. Prithee, allow the wind.
Oh, nay, you need not stop your nose, sir. I speak but by metaphor.
I'll stop my nose against any man's metaphor.
Pray you, sir, deliver me this paper.
Oh, look, here he comes himself. Here is a purr of Fortune's cat that has fallen into the unclean fish pond. Her displeasure. I pray you, sir, use the carp as you may. I leave him to your lordship.
My lord, I am a man whom Fortune hath cruelly scratched.
And what would you have me to do? 'Tis too late to pare her nails now.
Oh, my good lord, you were the first that found me.
And I was the first to lose thee. The king's coming. Sirrah, though you are a fool and a knave, you shall eat. Go to, follow.
We lost a jewel of her, and our estimation was made much poorer by it. But your son, as mad in folly, lacked the sense to know her estimation.
'Tis past, my liege, and I do beseech your majesty, make it natural rebellion, done in the blaze of youth, when oil and fire, too strong for nature's reasons, overbears it and burns on.
My honoured lady, we have forgiven and forgotten all, though my revenges were set high upon him, and I watched the time to shoot.
This I must say, his lordship did to his majesty his mother and his lady offence of mighty note, but to himself the greatest wrong of all.
Well, call him hither.
My liege.
We are reconciled, and from the first view shall kill all repetition. The nature of his great offence is dead, and deeper than oblivion do we bury our insensitive relics of it. Let him approach.
Dear sovereign, pardon to me. Contempt his scornful perspective did lend me, which walked the line of every other favour. Thence it came that she whom all men praised, and whom myself, since I have lost, have loved, was in mine eye the dust that did offend it.
Well excused. That thou didst love her, strike some scores away. Come, take my hand. By my old head. Helen that's dead was a sweet creature. Such a ring as this, when I last saw her at court, I saw upon her finger.
Hers it was not.
Come, now, pray me, let me see it, for my eye was fixed upon it. This ring was mine. And when I gave it to Helen, I bade her, if her fortunes ever stood necessity to help, that by this token I would relieve her. Had you the craft to relieve her of what would stead her most?
My gracious sovereign, however pleases you to take it so, the ring was never hers.
By my life, son, I have seen her wear this, and she reckoned it at her life's rate.
I am sure I saw her wear it.
This ring, 'twas mine, 'twas Helen's. Confess 'twas hers, and how thou tookst it. She called the saints to surety, that she would never put it from her finger, lest she gave it to you in bed, where you would never come, or sent it to us upon her great disaster.
She never saw it.
Thou speakest falsely. Fears come into me which I would fain shut out. I know not. Thou didst hate her deadly, and she is dead, which nothing would win me to believe more to see this ring. Take him away. We'll sift this matter further.
If you shall ever prove this ring was hers, you shall easy prove that I husbanded her bed in Florence, where yet she never was.
I am rapt with dismal thinkings.
My liege, a petition from a Florentine. It does concern thee with her.
My gracious sovereign, upon his many protestations to marry me when his wife was dead, I blush to say it, he won me. Now is the Count Roussillon a widower. His vows are forfeited to me, and my honour is paid to him. He stole from Florence, taking no leave, and I follow him to his country for justice. Grant it to me, O King, otherwise a seducer flourishes and a poor maid is undone. Diana Capulet. Seek these suitors. Go speedily. Bring again the Count. I am afeard the life of Helen, lady, was foully snatched.
Now, justice on the doers.
I wonder, sir, with wives as monsters to you, that you fly them as you swear them lordship, and yet you desire to marry. What woman's this?
I am, my lord, a wretched Florentine, derived from the ancient Capulet, my suit. As I do understand, you know.
I am her mother, sir.
Can I hear the Count? Do you know these women?
My lord, I neither can nor will deny that I know them. Do they charge me further?
Why do you look so strangely upon your wife?
Oh, she's none of mine, my lord.
Good, my lord, ask him upon his oath, if you think he hath not my virginity.
What sayest you to her?
She's impudent, my lord, and was a common gamester to the camp.
Oh, do not believe him.
Behold this ring, of which high respect and rich validity did lack a parallel, but for all he gave it to a commoner of the camp, if I be one. He blushes, and 'tis it. Of 6 preceding ancestors, this gem hath it been owed and worn. This is his wife. This ring is 1,000 proofs.
This ring is yours?
Certain it is I liked her, and boarded her in the wanton way of youth. She got the ring, and I got that which any inferior might have at market price have bought.
Since you lack virtue, I will lose a husband. Send for your ring, I will return it home, and give me mine again.
I have it not.
Which ring, I pray you, is yours?
Sir, much like the one upon your finger.
This ring was yours?
And this is it that I gave him being a bed.
The story then goes foul. Know you this ring? This ring was his of late.
I'm a good one.
Well, where did you buy it, or who gave it to you?
I didn't buy it. It was not given me, nor did I buy it.
Well, who lent it to you then?
It was lent me neither.
Where did you find it?
I found it not.
If this ring was yours, by none of these ways, then how did you give it to him?
I never gave it him.
This woman's an easy glove, my lord. She goes off and on at pleasure.
This ring was mine. I gave it to his first wife.
It was yours or hers for aught I know.
Oh, take her away. I do not like her now. To prison with her.
Good mother.
Oh,
Fetch my bail.
and off with him as well.
Stay, royal sir.
Jeweller that owes the ring is sent for,
And shall surety me. But for this lord, who hath abused me, though he never harmed me, here I quit him.
he knows himself my bed he hath defiled.
But at that time he got his wife with child. Though dead she be, she feels her young one kick. So there's my riddle. One that's dead is quick. And now behold the meaning.
Helena, is it real that I see?
No, my good lord, 'tis but the shadow of a wife you see. The name and not the thing.
Both! both. Oh, pardon.
Oh, my good lord. When I was like this, maid, I found you wondrous kind. There is your ring. And look you, here is your letter. This it says, when from my finger you can get this ring and buy me with child, etc. This is done. Will you be mine, now you are doubly one?
My liege, if she can make me know this clearly, I will love her dearly. Ever, ever dearly.
Oh, my dear mother, do I see you living?
Mine eyes smell onions. I shall weep anon.
Well, let us from point to point this story know, to make the even truth in pleasure flow. If thou beest yet an uncropped flower, choose thy yourself a husband, and I'll pay the dower. For I can guess by thy honest aid, thou keepest herself a wife, and thyself a maid. Sorry.
The king's a beggar. Now the play's done. All is well ended, if this suit be won. That you express content, which we will pay with strife to please you, day exceeding day. Ours be your patience then, and yours our parts. Your gentle hands lend us, and take our hearts.
Okay, at the end there, when the audience will be clapping, they will tell you when you need to stop doing things. But do things with each other right at the end there, right? You know, be just and the music will fade, they will go away, you will go off, and it will all be wonderful. And you absolutely have been. Gosh, if we can get this tonight plus 10%. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Give us an audience.
Do you reckon? Yeah, give you an audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, we did. Friday night
normally a little disappointed.